For more on this, we're joined by Francesco Rizzuto, Professor of European Law at Liverpool John Moores University. It's great to have you back on the programme with us, Francesco. Now, with 85% of costs being absorbed by US firms, when does this margin pressure become a systemic threat to stock valuations?
That's a very difficult question to answer, given the unpredictability that Trump has actually released onto the market. It's extremely difficult to know when this will happen because the context is so unpredictable. I think that all we can do is try and glean on the basis of the kinds of changes that so-called Liberation Day has actually released to try and work out exactly what the answer to your question is. I mean, what we do know for certain is that prices are going up in the United States for consumers. We know that for certain, that actually trade partners of the United States are actually shifting their focus and not relying on American markets to the extent that they did in the past. We do know that actually European consumers, to give you one example, are simply not buying American products anymore. So in this kind of world of instability that Mr. Trump has unleashed, it is extremely difficult to answer the question that you pose.
And what about those smaller businesses that aren't so easily able to absorb the higher costs? What happens to them?
Well, they go out of business. To put it bluntly, if they can't absorb the costs and they end up having to price themselves up, well, consumers are simply not going to buy their goods. So there will be a diversification, but we've seen that the business figures in the United States, employment figures are not that great. So this was a crazy approach to things, really. You know, a big bang solution, disrupt everything and see how things will fall, how the cards will stack up later on. And we still don't actually know how they will end up, let us say, in 12 months' time. Though, in terms of their perception, i.e. electoral perception, we will know by the midterms how the average American is feeling. And of course, all of this has been compounded by the problems that have been created by Mr. Trump's decision to attack Iran, which again has added another factor of instability almost, though clearly some people are benefiting from what is going on here.
And is Trump's most favoured nation drug pricing model a sustainable blueprint for other sectors looking to bypass those tariffs? And how does it compare to the automotive sector's strategy of shifting production and export patterns to avoid those duties?
Well, I think that will continue. If you're lucky enough to make the most favoured nation status that Mr. Trump wants to put on, but who are those countries? Frankly, the choice is not limitless, and also, of course, this approach to things is somehow in conflict with that other irrelevant international organization that Mr. Trump has managed to bury, WTO rules on most favored nation trading partner status, even though, of course, one can get around some of those issues, for example, free trade areas and so on. But Mr. Trump is not interested in free trade, actually.
All right, well, we will have to leave it there. For now, Professor Francesco Rizzuto from the Liverpool John Moores University, thank you very much as always.